What is up, everybody? My name's Logan, and today we're going to have a little discussion about the Super Mario 3D All-Stars Collection. We're going to talk about how the collection works. I want to talk about each game individually, how it looks, how it plays, how it feels. I want to talk about whether you should buy the collection, you specifically, right now. And I also want to talk about whether Nintendo did a lazy job with what they put out for us. Let's get it. I want to start out just by telling you my history with these games, right? So, Mario 64 came out the year I was born, but I obviously didn't play it that year. I played it a few years later, and I have very vivid memories of me and my mom going to Walmart. We bought the Nintendo 64, we got Mario 64. I don't know if it came with it or we bought it separate. Regardless, doesn't matter. And then we went home. I remember us playing it. I remember having to wait for my dad to get home, actually, to show us how to beat like the first King Bomb Bomb level. And, you know, I have very vivid, that's some of my first memories of playing video games, is this game on the original Nintendo 64. Sunshine is much more the game that I associate with my childhood just in general. I was old enough at that point where I was able to actually figure out what was going on. I was able to play the game and do well at it occasionally. I have also very vivid memories of me and my sister playing this game. We would take turns. I'd watch her. I watched her a lot more than she watched me, that's for sure. But we would take turns sometimes on the hard parts, the secret courses. We would eat jelly beans, and that was our brain food, right? That's what we would eat when we were struggling. We thought that would make us so much better at the game. So I have extremely fond memories of the game. It's very nostalgic for me. That's the one I'm most excited to play in this collection. And then Galaxy, I actually finally got around to it like a month or two ago. I played it over on my Twitch stream. And it was before this was announced, so I'm a little upset I did it, to be honest with you. I would have rather just waited for this collection, but I didn't. So I'm not super pumped to play Galaxy again, you know, right after just playing it for the first time. But I did like Galaxy. Its music is awesome. You know, it's a good game. It's Mario. It's going to be good. Now let's get into kind of how this collection works on the Switch. So you start it up, right? You click on it. It takes you to a title screen, shows you like a little clip from each game, I think. And then you go to a title screen, you click A, and then there you have the 3 games and the 3 soundtracks. Talking about the soundtracks first, because it's the quicker part here. You go in to each soundtrack, and it shows you all the songs from each of the games. You can click on the song, it'll play the song. Cool, it works, whatever. Unfortunately, there's no progress bar for the song, so you don't know like how long you have left, how long the track is really. And you also don't have the option to fast forward or rewind the songs, which is pretty lame. They did, however, give you the option to, you can put your Switch in sleep mode, and it will continue playing the song, which I guess is a cool option. I probably won't use it, but I guess it's nice that it's there for people who feel the need to do that. I'm not one of those people. Talking about picking a game, though, that's the more important part. I'm interested in the games. When you pick a game, it'll show you a quick little load screen, and it'll have like a character model or a screenshot from that game. It seemed like it was from that game. I'm not 100%, but it seemed like it was from that game, from, you know, the little testing I did. And then you're right into the game. Boom, you can play. It's really quick. It actually works really well. If you want to get out of the game that you're in, right, you want to switch from Mario 64 to Mario Sunshine, you hit the minus button while in game, and it actually brings up a menu. You go to title select, and then you can easily go back to that menu with the games and switch out. It's really quick, really simple. I actually kind of like the way they did it. It's pretty clean. Now we're going to talk about each game one at a time here. What I like, what I don't like. Starting, of course, with Mario 64. The biggest thing you notice, it's still in 4:3. The resolution's 4:3. It's not widescreen. It's probably the most disappointing part of the entire collection to me is that this game is still in 4:3. It looks much clearer. I mean, it does look nice. It's still Polygon City, but it does look better, so you can't really complain about that. It's just such a shame that they didn't put it widescreen. You know, people mod it every day to put it widescreen. I don't know why Nintendo thought that they didn't need to do that. The gameplay, however, feels really good. I mean, it feels like it should. It feels like Mario 64. I will say, though, the camera is not the best controls. You know, on the N64 controller, you had the C buttons, you know, the yellow buttons to do camera. And now we have sticks, but it's not fluid. It's still like pressing a button. And it's kind of prehistoric camera controls for a game. I mean, I understand this game pioneered 3D platforming, basically. So it's understandable, but you would think in a collection like this, they could have updated the controls for us to make it just feel perfect. Just make it feel like what we remember it felt like, not what it actually feels like compared to games now. Moving on, we got Mario Sunshine, and like I said, this is the game I was by far the most excited to play again. It looks freaking awesome. The cutscenes are not the best, and that's a recurring theme with these Mario games, is the cutscenes are a noticeable drop in quality. It's like that if you emulate it too, actually. I noticed that too, but the cutscenes are kind of but the gameplay itself looks freaking awesome. The controls feel really, really good. Mario's fluid, he's clean. I didn't notice any frame rate drops, but I only played for about 30 minutes. I was the responsible adult. I went to sleep early last night because I had to work early, but you better bet I scurried my ass home to play right after I got off work. Anyway, the one problem I have with the controls is FLUDD. You know, the water pack you have, little nozzle dude, you don't have variable velocity with him. You know, the Switch doesn't have analog triggers. So they gave you one button to hit to spray water on the move and one button to hit to spray water while you stand still. You can't change the speed of it, which is really, really lame. I mean, it wasn't the most useful thing back in the original, but it was fun to mess around with. I think we all kind of liked finding the sweet spots for different things. That's gone. You got one speed now. And when you stand still and spray FLUDD, the controls aren't inverted, which I feel like they were. Maybe they weren't. Regardless, it feels awful. Like, up is up, down is down, and it feels like it should be the opposite of that. When I was playing around trying to, like, spray the M off the wall, I could not get it to do it the way it felt like it should. It just, you know, I was struggling to do the most simple of tasks with it. So I can't imagine if you're in an intense fight with something, trying to do it quickly, it's going to take me time to get used to it. And I'm sure I will, but right off the bat, it just didn't feel completely right to me. Last game we got to talk about, Mario Galaxy. It looks even better than Sunshine. It looks like you think it should look. It's really, truly, really pretty to look at. It's better than I could make it emulate on my computer, and I have a pretty decent computer. You know, it's a couple years old, but it looks better than I could emulate it on my computer through Dolphin with all the, you know, resolution changes and all that stuff. It looks really, really good. I'm not kidding. It also controls very fluidly, just like the others, in terms of movement and Mario, and it feels like the game should. But just like Sunshine, there's a little bit of a problem. The pointer that you used with the Wiimote, trying to do it with the Pro Controller, which is my preferred way to play on the Switch when it comes to like a 3D platforming game, is the Pro Controller. It does not feel right. I do not always hold my controller perfectly straight in front of the screen. You know, I'll put my controller pointing down and whatever. Trying to control that pointer was not going well for me with the Pro Controller. It felt a lot better once I switched it up with the Joy-Cons. You know, you can it kind of feels more like a nunchuck and Wiimote, and it feels more true to what the experience should be. But I want to play with the Pro Controller, and I want it to work. And it's playable for sure. It just doesn't feel great. I was getting frustrated trying to collect the star bits, and you know, I guess it is what it is. But I would have liked for them to have made that work a little bit better, I think. But now it's moment of truth time. Should you buy this collection? And I have 3 different kinds of people I want to talk about. The first kind of person is the person who's never played these games before or never played most of these games. If you are that person, buy this right now. It's the easiest, most convenient way to play these games, without a doubt in my mind. They look great. They feel pretty good for the most part. I think, you know, 64 I think is much better than trying to use a 64 controller. I think we can all agree that controller sucks. I'm sorry. But I think if you've never played these games, or 2 out of the 3, or maybe even 1 out of the 3, if you want to play one of these games for the first time, this is the easiest way to do it right now in 2020, if you don't already own it. The second kind of person is the person who's played these games before. Most of them, all of them, whatever. You've played them before and you love them. They're nostalgic for you. You know, they take you back. You want to experience them again. You're excited to replay them. I think you should also buy this collection. I think it does its job. They look good. They play fine. It is the games you remember. And I think if you like these games, then you're going to enjoy this collection. The last kind of person is the person who has played these games before and doesn't really want to replay them. You know, it's not the top of your priority list. You feel kind of about the games. You know, you don't think they have the best controls or the best camera or whatever it is. If you're that kind of person, I say skip it. You know, they're the same games. They might look a little bit different, but they're the exact same games. There's nothing new here for you to experience. There's nothing that's going to hold your interest any more than the original game did. If you are not 100% invested in replaying this game or playing it for the first time, you're not excited about it, don't feel like you have to get it. I know they said the limited time thing. You know, if you're not pumped to play the games, then it's not going to matter. There's nothing new here to make the experience any better for you. And that just is what it is. And that leads right into, was Nintendo lazy when they made this collection? Yes, absolutely. They were extremely lazy with this. I don't think that's even up for debate. Mario 64 is still in 4:3. I mean, are you kidding me? Why is that not widescreen? There's so many mods that have done it. I saw someone today that was playing Mario 64 emulated across 3 monitors, but Nintendo couldn't make it widescreen 1080 for this collection. It's ridiculous. The controls for the games aren't fully fixed and modernized, and they don't feel perfect like they really should in a collection like this. They didn't take the time to really nail down what would make these games feel absolutely perfect. And there's not enough control options in the games, you know, like inverting FLUDD or inverting the camera or whatever. We're in a time where that needs to be the standard of a game that's coming out right now, whether it's a remaster or a port or not. It needs to be the standard that's what happens. Another reason I think they're lazy, Galaxy 2 isn't in here, and you know, that's one of the Mario games I have not played. I would be, I'm excited that I bought it. I don't feel bad about buying it because I really want to replay 64 and Sunshine specifically. But if Galaxy 2 was in here, I'd be so much more pumped to play this because I've never played Galaxy 2. And I would get the chance, an easy way, convenient way for me to replay the game with it looking great. I can't believe they didn't actually put Galaxy 2 in there. Last point of why they're lazy. There's no unlockables or real extras other than the soundtrack. I mean, they could have done costumes for Mario that you unlock by doing certain things. You 100% Mario 64, cool. You can use Mario 64 costume in Sunshine during your playthrough, right? Just simple stuff like that. That's literally just like a retexture of the character. They could have added behind-the-scenes content, like interviews and whatever, what have you. I wouldn't have cared as much about that, but it still could have been in there. I mean, this is supposed to be a celebration of Mario, a collection, his anniversary. Let's get some behind-the-scenes content at least. They could have put some mini games, something. I don't know. There should have been some extra or unlockable content in this game that we really could have used and played and gotten people even more excited about playing these games, in my opinion. All that being said, though, I'm still pumped to play these games. Again, I'm super happy that they're coming out with this and they're showing that they're willing to remaster games or port them, whatever you want to call it. If we could get a Zelda collection next year, that would tickle me to death. I would love to see that. You know, if we could get Ocarina or Wind Waker or Twilight Princess or Majora's Mask on the Switch, that would be awesome too. So, I mean, I'm not mad that I bought it, even though I said they're lazy. I'm pumped to play it. I'm just saying I do think it was a lazy job from them. And, you know, buyer beware kind of thing. If you're not super into playing these games again, don't feel like you're missing out on anything new. That's going to do it for this video. If you want to watch me play these games, I'm going to be playing them on my Twitch stream starting over the weekend. Link for that is in the description. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like me, subscribe. Thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Peace.